All right, everybody, welcome back to another review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe classified series, Croc, Master, and Fiona. Now, this guy comes with a plethora of stuff. Not a whole lot, but he does come with a few things. So, not to drag the video on, let's get a look at what the Croc Master comes with. So, starting off, he comes with Fiona's collar. And it's just a plastic chain that's really not a chain, it's just plastic. And then the spike collar with a little bit of leather on the side and a handle for him to hold on to. It's just cast in a gray plastic. Not much to it. Next, he comes with his Candyman hook, so you can run around thinking that he's Candyman. No, but all seriousness, this is just a hook which they use to open the jaws of the gator. So yeah, it's just cast in some silver plastic. That's about it. Nothing too crazy with it. Next is Croc Master's whip. So you have a black piece of plastic, it's kind of wound up, and then you have the handle here, which is wrapped in some green. And overall, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's not a piece of string dangling down. A bendy wire would have been neat. That way you could have bent it up or left it like this. But either way, however you choose to display it, that's up to you. But either way, it's still a cool addition to the figure. Next, we have the Croc Master's knife, and it's just cast in some gray plastic with some green wrapping. Now, this green wrapping that's on here is supposed to be alligator scale. So if you actually look, you can see in the detail, if I can get it to come through, that it has some scales on the handle, which is actually a very nice addition to his knife. Not bad at all. Nicely done. Next is a Croc Master's 38 Special. I do believe this is supposed to be an edition of a 38 Special, not a snub nose 38, but a 38 nonetheless. It's just casted in black. You have an open peg hole here for any blast effects if you have any. It would have been nice to see it cast in like a little bit of silver, or at least this painted green, which would have been cool, because they have the alligator scales on there, on the handle, on the grip, but no, they should have painted it. But oh well, that's not a big deal. But nicely done, well done. Beautiful looking gun. Kind of reminds me of Major Bloods. Alright, so let's take a look at Croc Master himself before we get into looking at Fiona and Hook and TikTok. So let's take a good look at this guy here. So, I mean, they did a beautiful job on this guy here. I remember having him as a kid in the original. I do not have him anymore in the original. Let me try and zoom this out just a wee bit. There we go. Alright, so anyway, let's take a look at this this head sculpt. With this head sculpt, we have, well, the black that, you know, I don't know what you call that, the mask. Well, I mean, it's a mask, but it's more like a S&M type of mask that he has on him. But anyway, whatever the case, you can see the scar that went through here. Either he got cut by a knife or an alligator tried to eat him. One of the two, and then he just sewed his mask back up. He has his rebreather, which then moves from here to the back, which goes to the oxygen tank on the back. Now, this would probably be because he's dealing with gators and he's training them, so which therefore he has to go into the water. Or, no, Batman, there's nothing to find here. Yeah, you guys probably heard that 1,000 times as well, but I figured I'd throw that in there because that's where I think they got the idea to do the new Bane, was off of this guy here. So this guy came out way before that movie Bane. But anyway, moving on. I like the way they did the underbelly of a croc on his tank top. So this would be the underbelly of a croc here. I love the cobra symbol that they put on here. And then moving on to the back, you have the back part of the croc on his tank top, which is nice. Really cool stuff that they've done here. Then you have his belt. You can see the buckle and the strap coming around, which then comes around to his cod piece here. And then you have his croc eyeball in the actual belt. Then you have some more croc skin going around on this gauntlet here. And then this is just a silver gauntlet on the other arm, probably in case he gets bit. He puts that up to block that from, but you know, crocs have a nice per square inch bite, it's a strong one. So once they bite down, forget it. You're lucky if you even get it back. Moving down to the legs, just pants painted in black, which is really nice. Nice little holster on the side here. Moving down to his Croc boots. So then you have his, you know, Croc skin boots. The only thing I don't like is just the way they made these feet kind of like Cobra Commanders, but you know, I guess they're supposed to represent kind of like a cowboy boot or something that he's wearing. So then you have his knife sheath over here on this leg, and yeah. All right, enough of that rambling. Let's get into his articulation. So he can look up that far. He can look down that far. His head can turn side to side. He has some head tilt, and his hose on the rebreather is removable. You just pull it right out of that peg, and you can peg it back in. So, you know, whatever the case you want to do with that, I don't know. Maybe it's to give me some venom. Hello, Batman. Whatever, it's probably a bad interpretation, but anyway, I hope it gave you guys a laugh. All right, so then moving down to the arms. So then his arms over here, they can move out. Very nice to a T pose. His shoulders, they do swivel, all right, and they bend. He does have a slight butterfly hinge in here. It would have been nicer if they gave it a little bit more range. He has bicep swivel, and he has double joints for his elbows, which gives him a nice bend here. He has his wrist swivel, and then he does have a wrist bend, so that way you can see that the wrist does bend, and they bend side to side. Coming down to the torso, he does not have really much of a rocker there, but he does have this Marvel Legends type body type, I guess you could say. You know, this cut right in here, which is good, but it's good when they add that top torso where it can bend and then have the ab crunch also, along with the waist swivel. That's just my opinion. Legs do drop down like all G.I.Joe figures do, and then his leg can kick out this far, can kick back this far. He has a upper thigh swivel. He has his double jointed knees, which is actually really nice, can make it all the way up to his backside. And then he has his boot swivel, his ankle pivot back that far, ankle pivot forward, and ankle pivot side to side. And that is all. And you know, he's a little wiggly waggly here. I remember my Storm Shadow being like that, and I don't know why, but whatever. I mean, it's not a big deal. You know, he's gonna go on the shelf, and that's where he's gonna be. But it is what it is, if that's the way they're making them. I mean, this is a cool figure. I wasn't gonna pick him up, but I'm glad I did. So let me get him situated, and then we will take a look at Fiona. All right, so now let's take a look at Fiona. So with Fiona, she comes with two little baby Crocs, and I gave them names. I called one Hook, which is the albino, and then TikTok, which is the green one. So starting off with those guys, whoops. Here is TikTok. So he's just a little tiny, itty bitty baby kid. So cute, so cute. And they're just casted in plastic, some green plastic. You know, they're not articulated. That's what I'm trying to say. And then here is Hook, little albino gator, precious, so precious, very nice. Anyway, moving on to Fiona herself. Now, the reason why I put the babies in her mouth is because that's how Crocs carry their young. They carry them in their mouth up to a certain time, and then they stop. So, okay, so let's take a look at her articulation. She has a top hinge, which opens and closes on her mouth. Her head can move side to side. It is on a ball joint. And then you have the back part that is also on a ball joint. It allows her to look up. It allows her to look somewhat down. And then she does have a little side to side. Her feet can swivel forward. And then her back legs can swivel forward. And then she has a little bit of articulation on the back feet. She does she have articulation? Oh yeah, she does. These do swivel up here on the front feet. Moving to the body, she's soft back down here. It looks like that at one point they were gonna have it to where you could open it up and put pieces in there and take, I don't know, whatever the case, or open her up and then there it is. I don't know, but I'm glad they didn't do that. So here's the back part, nice little, beautifully done. I mean, wow. Very nicely done. I mean, look at the head sculpt alone. I would not want to meet up with her on any given day or just any random Croc or Gator. It doesn't make a difference. moving down to the tail has a bendy wire in it, and it also has a ball joint so where you can turn it. So really nice, and I love the way that they did this animal. Just love the way the way he did it. So I just want to point out a couple things, because I know somebody had said to me that this isn't really a croc, it's a gator, but it's not. It is a croc, because the difference is, one, okay, a gator's teeth do not, from the bottom, do not protrude on the outside of the mouth, on the top, like this. Only crocs do. So that's why the teeth. The bottom teeth on an alligator are hidden. Plus, an alligator's snout is a little wider and more round. This is more pointed, and it has, like, the nostrils have this like little round piece on the top. That's how you can tell the difference between a gator and a croc. This is a croc, and if I mean, y'all seen Lake Placid? I'm telling you, that's where this guy's getting his crocs from. So yeah, definitely cool. I love the way that Fiona looks. Give me a second and I will pop on the so to pop on the collar, you pop the head off, and then you're just gonna slide this like this. You're just gonna hold this here, and then with the ball joint there, you're just gonna pop this on. Just gonna give it a push. And you know, it'd been nice if this had like a swivel or something on it, but there you go. That's what that. I don't really care for it on there. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but that's just the way that I like it. And I love the way, the other thing I do like is this right here. That is beautiful, the way they did the webbing inside the mouth and inside the mouth itself. I mean, look at the detail in the mouth. Let me just point that out. Oh, if I can keep it on camera. That's so cool. So cool. All right, guys, give me a second and we'll do some comparisons. Here's how he compares to the SH Figuarts Goku Black. Here's how he compares to the Hasbro Marvel Legends X-Men's Wolverine. And here's how he compares to the Hasbro G.I.Joe Classified Spirit, Charlie Iron Knife, and Freedom. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this look at Croc Master and Fiona. And don't forget about TikTok and Hook. Listen, I just want to say this real quick, and I won't keep this long, or I won't make this long, let me say. And that is, this guy here, he was on Cobra Island, and he was security on Cobra Island. Now, this is the kind of guy that you have as security on your island, who is training Crocs and as monstrous as this guy is. I would not want to face him. Any G.I. Joe that had to face this guy better bring it, because this guy is no slouch whatsoever. I mean, he's, you know, listen, the Joes aren't slouches, but excuse me, we're not talking about the Sunbow cartoon. We're talking about the way you want them to be. So in my eyes, yeah, Croc Master is definitely going to be a badass in my collection. And I bet you he was, you know, if they didn't have to dumb him down. I mean, I'd hate to see how they would actually make these guys really be, because, you know, they're trained specialists. They're not just chicken shit people running away. Anyway, that's just my outlook on the whole situation. I mean, he's a big dude, and I mean, there's big guys on the Joe team too, but this guy looks like he would be a sadistic dude that you tangled with. You better bring a packed lunch and a snack, because you're gonna be there a long time. But with that being said, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and as always, leave a comment down below. Please hit the notification bell so you never miss out on anything new that I am putting up. And as always, guys, I will catch you all on the flippity flip.